I think Liverpool have the best midfield in the world right now. I don't know which midfield three you're putting up bar for bar with this Liverpool midfield, but it's not. It's not Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister, and now Dominik Szoboszlai, who might be Liverpool's most important player right now. When he plays, they're a different team. He unlocks the other two in midfield and allows them to be the best versions of themselves. And I can't even really put my finger on it, on what his presence and what he does there. It could be the work rate off and on the ball, the athleticism, obviously the size, the dynamism. I guess that's everything that really does it for the rest of the two. When I say I can't put my finger on it, I think that's what it is. Dom is a special player, and he's finally being able to show what he's about and what he's made of and why we spent the money we spent for him from coming from RB. And I think he's only going to continue to improve and continue to get better and put up number 10 numbers. You know what I mean? Like the numbers that we want to see from a 10. And I was in this, I'm not going to take credit for the goal, but I commented on one of his videos where he banged one in training. I said, bro, Dom, you got to stop deferring off to Mo. Take the shot, my boy. Take the shot. And he took the shot today. And there aren't very many strikers of the ball that are better than him in world football, in my personal opinion. I think it's him, and then it's Trent, and then whoever else you want to kind of put into that list. But I think those two guys, and we have both of them, are two of the better strikers of the football in world football right now. And his whole dynamic changes the way that Liverpool is able to build. Liverpool is able to be dangerous, and he drives this slot system at the moment. And I don't see anyone else that are kind of in our ranks that could potentially do that for us. So big shout out to Dom. I had to start the video like that to give my boy some love. He's my favorite player in the team right now. But what a display from the entire team, and it's well deserved. A majority of our guys had great games today. A majority of them had really solid games today. And we continue to march on, and we continue to get results in every competition that we're in right now. I'm very proud of these boys. And if you're a Liverpool fan right now, you should be extremely proud of what they're able to achieve, and very happy and very proud of this manager and what he's been able to do, because it should be impossible in what he's been able to do. And we'll talk about that in a second. But shout out to Ipswich for never giving up. So credit to them. I think that they have what it takes to stave off the drop and at least get that fourth to last finish and stay in the Premier League. They low blocked a little bit, but they tried to play football, especially after that second half. And I think the goal was to bring on some substitutes to try to impact the game later on, hold off Liverpool, and then try to snatch a point or two or three. You can't get 2 points, but 3 points from Liverpool. But it didn't work out, and mainly because Arne Slot's tactics, which we're going to talk about here in a second. But before we do that, make sure you guys go in the comments and you guys subscribe to the channel and tell us about what you thought about the match. Did you think it was going to be this easy? I don't think anybody was really predicting such a stroll in the park. I did predict 4-0 right before the match. I was a little bit of a coward. I was saying 2-1 before. Then I said, 4-0 right before kickoff. So I can't take too much credit, but let me know what you guys thought about this match. But let's jump right into it. The first half was probably our best half of the season. I'll be very honest there. From the jump, we broke down that low block, and Arne Slot did an incredible job of inverting that midfield whenever we would get into that low block. Instead of having two protecting the back, we had one protecting the back and two sitting in pockets of space. So that allowed, Luis Diaz to drift around and do his thing, and Gakpo and Salah to get into space, and the fullbacks to underlap and overlap, right? And he's worked this formation before, and he's done it before with low block teams. It just hasn't worked this quick in the past, right? So credit to Arne Slot for being able to break that up early, because it forced Ipswich to chase the game right from the jump, getting that goal early. But Sabo drove this game, and from the start, he just looked on fire, and he looked like, I don't want to say it, but like a young Steven Gerrard out there. He was unlucky not to have 2 goals and was much more dangerous in and around the box than he usually is, and was a lot more decisive, man, which is what we want from him, is to make those decisions and be confident in those decisions in the final third, and to have confidence in his own abilities and not continue to defer off to Mo Salah. And I think we saw what happens when the players start to believe in who they are and who they are as professionals, instead of saying, Mo, go get us a goal, right? But Mac and Ryan were outstanding as well, and they were pretty much doing what they wanted all game. Thankfully, Ryan was able to get a little bit of a rest in this match. I know his legs are probably jelly from the last run of games, and hopefully he gets a rest in the midweek as well. But damn, Elliott is going to have a really tough time getting displacing these three in the midfield. He's going to have to go through hell to even get close to these three because they're that good. But tactically, Slot got this one right. Broke up the low block early, made him chase the game, and allowed us to play football and created space for us. These are the stats from that first half. I mean, absolute dominance. And then now these are the stats from the completion of the game, still dominating this match. I think this is everything you want and you ask for Slot. I think one thing that he probably isn't going to love is conceding that goal, of course. Ali was actually really good when called upon, but tough in the conceding of that goal. We had the shortest guy on the field against the tallest guy on the field. Never a good thing. But my man of the match was between Gakpo or Szoboszlai. I have to give Gakpo a whole ton of credit, man. He's been our second best attacker this entire season, and he's finally showing those levels that we knew that he could show and that I knew that he could show when we first bought him. Because I remember when we got him, I believe he was like only second to Mbappe in terms of goal contributions when we first bought him, and we got him for a really good price as well right after that Euro display, the Euro display. And I knew he had it in him, and he just had been playing out of position. And I think Klopp playing him in midfield is a war crime. It should have never happened, bro. But he's on track to have his best Liverpool season ever, if he isn't already past that by now. But he looked outstanding today. But Sabo looked like Steven Gerrard today in that midfield, man. So the man of the match has to go from me to Szoboszlai. So let's talk about the goals while we're at it. Fantastic left-footed finish. He shoots more, he scores more. I think less deferring to Mo, like I've said 3 times already in this video, and I think we have a star on our hands, man. Could you imagine Sabo coming into his full potential with Maka and Ryan coming into their full potential in that midfield? We will be fed for decades. Salah displaces Henry as the Premier League goal scorer, his record in the Premier League as a goal scorer, and brings his tally up to 50 goals and assists from an impossible angle set up by Cody Gakpo. Gakpo banging in 2 goals, being smart and cleaning up Sabo's deflected finish, and then Trent with a peach of a cross, pinpoint right onto Gakpo's head into the back of the net. Not much more you can ask. Special shout out to Trent. He looked fantastic today. He went wild in that second half. And I might sound crazy when I say this. I might sound crazy. But I think Trent's future lies in attack. I don't know if there's a better striker of the ball in world football. I said this before in the video. He is able to hit him so sweetly and so accurately. It's almost like he's passing him into the net. And he passes with aggression anyway, right? So I can just totally see him as a right midfielder, right winger, and being able to do what he was doing in the match today, man. Being dangerous, lacing them in from long range, hitting the post, creating opportunities and chances for our center forwards. I think his creativity lies there, and it's almost like a Bale transition. And I know we talked about that early in his career. Will he transition into more of a Gareth Bale type of role? I think he's primed for it. But credit to Arne. His Reds continue to march on, and he continues to have a fairy tale season. Massive credit to him for doing what should be impossible. No transfers, no backings. Same team from last year to be top of the Champions League, top of the Premier League table. Only have lost 1 game all season long, 2 games in all competitions, still battling on all 4 fronts and potentially in line for a quadruple. No one, I don't care. You're the most optimistic Liverpool fan. No one predicted this at the beginning of the season. His man management and his minutes are actually really good. It's very unusual. It's unconventional, but he's kept all of the main guys fit this year. And the January dip wasn't very much of a dip at all, right? And the curses and some of the old stuff that tends to rear its head during this time just isn't. And you have to credit Arne Slot and his backroom staff. I don't know if he's lucky. I don't know if he's a madman and he just knows what he's doing, but he's doing a fantastic job. And that is our manager, and Arne we trust. So what's next? We got Bournemouth next. They're on a roll. They just absolutely rolled over Nottingham Forest, a team that we have trouble with. But that doesn't mean that they do the same thing to us. I know they're unbeaten in their last 11, but I trust Slot is already thinking about this match, right? He'll have a whole week to kind of break it down, look at tape, and figure out the best way and the best approach to really kind of come after this Bournemouth team who look outstanding today. Outstanding in the past handful of weeks. And that's how you want it. You want teams like Bournemouth. You want teams like Brighton. You want teams like Brentford to be successful because they do it the right way. Find hidden gems, scout the right way, don't spend a whole ton of money, and they build the teams correctly. But should be an awesome match. Let me know what your predictions are for that match below. Also tell me who your man of the match for this match was. And while you're down there, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Hit a like on theirs while you're down there. This thing's going crazy. We're growing. The next goalpost is 5,000 subs. We're only 700 away. Let's get there before, I don't know, the end of February. Love you guys. Thanks. And up the Reds. Have an amazing weekend. Be safe out there. Peace.